Today, retail is still dragging the train. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics, with the latest post covering finance and prop news with a distinctively Australian flavour. The ABS has just reported retail sales for November, and superficially at least, it came in much stronger than many expected. It looks to be something of a combination of Black Friday sales and maybe, just maybe, some delayed effects from the earlier policy stimulus measures, which of course included tax refunds and tax cuts. Total retail sales rose 0.9% in the month, which was higher than the expected 0.4%. And actually that is the strongest monthly result since November 2017. And as a result, annual growth lifted to 3.2% over the year. But most of this is completely linked to the growing popularity of the Black Friday sales event. Although the detail does suggest that even traditional retailers also recorded a strong gain through that period, which may well be consistent with some delayed effects from the recent stimulus measures. And perhaps even the lower interest rates, which were cut of course in June, July and October, may be flowing through. The combined value of all this stimulus should be around $16 billion, but I think much of that is being used to pay down debt. And I think it's also just worth noting that the relatively strong November gain in retail sales is still only worth about $250 million. The store type detail shows very strong gains for clothing up 3.1% and department stores up 3.4%, robust rises for household goods up 1.2%, and that included cafes and restaurants at 0.9%, and a solid 0.5% gain for basic foods. But of course some of that is to do with higher food prices as well. And it's worth noting of course that sales are quoted in nominal terms, so any price discounting acts as a drag. Now the ABS does provide a sales breakdown by channel, for example online versus in-store. The figures cover Australian retailers and the local subsidiaries of offshore retailers like Amazon, but does exclude sales to offshore-based retailers. The figures show online sales totaled $2.1 billion, which is 7.1% of total retail sales in the month, versus 6.5% in the month prior, and that's a new record high. That said, the month-to-month rise of $266 million is only about a fifth of the $1.4 billion increase in total retail. Indeed, it looks like the gain in online sales was about 4% over the month in seasonally adjusted terms, and that would contribute just 0.2 percentage points to the overall gain, with retail sales excluding online up a robust 0.7% over the month. Sales rose across all major states, with New South Wales up 0.7%, Victoria up 1.1%, Queensland up 1.2%, South Australia up 1.4%, and Western Australia up 0.5%. And there'll be a sigh of relief amongst smaller retails because they saw a 0.7% gain, having been hit by the slowdown through 2019. Although sales are still contracting on an annual basis, they're down 1.2%. Large retailers have seen steadier sales gains and recorded a 1% rise in November. So whilst there is a little bit of improvement here, and maybe even some evidence of a wider lift, I think we need to be very cautious about this November data point, because it's likely to be, I think, a temporary effect due to the rising popularity of those Black Friday sales. And in past years, this has translated to a corresponding drag in monthly sales to come, particularly over the slowing Christmas period. Notably, the lift has also come despite business and consumer surveys pointing to continued weakness in their confidence levels. And of course, the data also predates the summer bushfires, which are likely to impact both spending and consumer sentiment ahead. We're already seeing that in our surveys for this year. And I'll be talking more about that next week when I've got another week of data. So I think we need to be very cautious about seeing this as some magic turnaround in retail, although I'm sure some will claim it is. The truth is, retail is at best bumping along the bottom, and with consumer sentiment and household budgets under pressure, I suspect that retail will have a very torrid 2020. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.